Hey, it's Karen here, and in this video, we're going to talk about 5 things to do when you start a walking plan. The number one thing to remember is that more is not better. It is better to start off with smaller, shorter walks in order to stay consistent. And here's why: avoid injury. It's best when starting any walking plan to really just increase what you're doing by about 10% per week. So what would that look like if you haven't been walking for like 6 months? That means your body is detrained. If you used to be a walker all the time, or if you're just starting out and you're not doing any more than say 3,000 steps, which is what the average person does if they're not adding physical exercise to their day. Say you're doing 3,000 steps, then your job would be to look at how many steps you do and add 3,000 to 5,000 to that, no more than 5,000. And that would be your goal to set your base. In the Walk It Off Challenge, challengers start off in a 20 to 30 minute zone because that's usually about how long it takes to acquire about 3,000 to 5,000 steps. A great walk is leaving you energized and excited to do it again. So shorter durations make it more doable on long term. It also allows you to schedule it in easier. It's a lot easier to take a 20 or 30-minute walk a day than it is to schedule an hour walk every single day. Number 2, in order to keep it interesting, add some variety to your walks. Add things like doing a hill training walk, add different trails, add interval training, which will spice it up a bit and spice up your cardiovascular fitness, as well as your fat burn and your calorie burn in that shorter period of time. Nothing squashes consistency more than feeling burnt out. You know, when you're visiting with like your best friend or whatever, or family, and you've always heard that saying is that you want to leave each other at the point by which you're wanting more. I want you to think about your walks the same way. You want to be done wanting more because then you can encapsulate that energy and use it for the rest of the day. The third thing is to give yourself permission to be a beginner, even if you've done this a lot in the past and just taken a break away. Even if you've been walking your whole life, right? How can I be a beginner at walking when I know how to do it? I've always done it. Well, if you're a beginner to a walking program, you have to allow yourself the permission to be a beginner. There's all kinds of new things that you're going to come into. You're going to face resistance in wanting to go every day. You're going to need to figure out what shoes feel good. What kind of spicy walks do I want to put in? There's going to be a lot of discovery. Give yourself permission to be a beginner, but don't give yourself excuses because you're a beginner. Number 4 is when you find your sweet spot, dial it in and lock it in. And by sweet spot, I mean you've decided walking in the morning feels so good. If only I could walk in the morning every single day. You might feel that way if it's at a different time, like after lunch or after dinner. You'll know it's the sweet spot by the heightened energy you feel and the success you feel and how you feel about yourself for the rest of the day. Once you find that, lock it in and schedule it and make sure that nothing else interferes with that time. Now, it's okay to have more than one sweet spot. I remember when I was first walking, I had 2 sweet spots. But take a look at your schedule at the beginning of the week. You know what's locked in. You know what you can't move. So then you lock in your walk time, right? Around the things that you cannot move. It's an appointment with yourself, which is another reason why in the Walk It Off Challenge that I lay out, the walks are shorter, 20, 30 minutes. It takes time to get dressed to go for a walk. It takes time to get undressed after you go for a walk. So that's why it's super important to lock in that time and make it shorter to stay more consistent. Number 5 is to go naked. Not like that. I mean, like, take your earbuds out. Allow yourself to tune into your body. How is your body feeling? It's impossible to know self-awareness if you're listening to a podcast, if you're listening to music, if you're listening to an audiobook. It's impossible to be able to unplug and actually listen to what your body is doing physically. Listen to what your mind is talking to you. You will get 2 times the benefits of walking if you walk silent and just allow your mind to swirl around. It's best if you're out in nature and you get to hear the birds and whatnot. As we know that exercise raises our cortisol, sometimes we have too much cortisol in that it will impede our, weight loss efforts if that's your goal. So if you can combine the silence with the walking and then reduce the cortisol as you're moving your body, you're going to burn more fat. If you're in a position where you need a really great, solid plan to follow, something with a schedule that you can check off, know that you're getting the workouts done, have no pressure to weigh yourself, measure yourself, you just got to get going and get something going, you're in the right place because all of those tools are inside the Walk It Off Challenge. You know to do it. You know why you're here. So let's keep consistent throughout the year. Oh, I'm rhyming now. Listen to me go. Quick recap. Here we go. 5 things to do. Remember, more is not better. Add variety. Give yourself permission to be a beginner. When you find your sweet spot, lock it in and keep it. And the last one is go unplugged. Take your earbuds out and allow yourself to listen to your body, everything that it's saying to you. If this video has been helpful for you, please share it to one of your friends. Maybe you want a walking buddy and you're sending them this video to say, hey, let's start a walking plan together. Oh, look, here's a schedule we can do together. I'm on a mission to help 50,000 people get walking 20 to 30 minutes a day unplugged. Is one of that people you? I'll see you in the next video.